I'm 20. Started at 13. Right now we have 60 people and I would say we're pretty small, but we're number one on TikTok Shop. I said out loud, I am going to post 3 times a day, every single day until I hit $100,000 or until I die. And with TikTok, it is a level playing field for everybody. Some of the top creators have less than 16,000 followers.
What range of time per week should someone be prepared to invest when starting this, and if they wanted to go full time? So I'm here with Devin Gockenbach. He is the founder of Creatify, and Creatify is a TikTok creator
Network. There you go.
So Devin, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Who are you? What do you do? And how'd you get here?
Absolutely. So, of course, gave me a great intro, Devin Gockenbach. I do a lot of content and a whole lot of ads. We have a big group of creators, and these creators post on TikTok Shop as a TikTok Shop affiliate, and they earn on each sale that they generate for the world's biggest brands. How did I get here? Honestly, I don't even know. It's a little blurry, but I'm 20. Yeah, started at 13. Right now we have 60 people, and I would say we're pretty small, but we're number one on TikTok Shop for the
Creators do you manage?
right now. We have 15,000 across our network.
15,000 creators.
Yeah, a lot of content.
That's incredible. And how long have you been doing this specific thing for?
I've been doing TikTok or content for the past 4 years. I started before TikTok Shop was even a thing. Just doing regular organic content for Amazon brands.
Where were you when you started?
I started with dropshipping organic content when I was 16.
So you started off as a dropshipper.
Yeah, I did. That's where I learned
You're only
that.
making content to sell products as a dropshipper.
Exactly. Yeah. Organic content. I didn't have money to spend on ads at the time. So I learned content. I started posting for, multiple different brands that just didn't end up working out at the time until one time I had read Atomic Habits, great book. And I remember I was on my bed and I was looking at the wall and I'm like, I remember because I was in the Discord before. I was in a Discord with a group of people doing something similar. And I'd seen a buddy of mine who had started about the same time as me crush it, do 50,000 in a month. And I knew I had to stay consistent because I just wasn't staying consistent enough to make it
You
work.
had someone in your life that you knew who did 50,000 a month?
Yeah, Michael.
Dropshipper?
Michael, yeah, as a drop shipper, it was crazy. One of our buddies, Andrew, did 200,000 in a month as an organic drop shipper.
Wow, organic dropshipper.
Organic, yeah. One of the
12,000 a month. Do you think that knowing someone like that kind of opened your mind to what is possible?
100% needed. Main reason why, for me at least, is it was a different feeling when you're actually building with someone. I think a lot of the times, especially if you're starting earlier out, your group of people that you're around aren't going to support the new thing that you're doing. If you're on a diet, everyone's going to say, "Oh no, eat this thing here. Here's a slice of pizza," right? Or if you're trying to work out, they'll always try to naturally, and it's a subconscious thing, drag you away from the goals. So being in that group of people who were actually doing it and believe that they could do it was honestly what had kept me going. Because if I wasn't in a group of people that were constantly holding each other accountable and believed in it, then I don't think I ever would have made it to the other end.
Okay. And so these weren't just people that you kind of knew. These were people that you were in their circle.
Exactly. Yeah.
How did you find these people and get into their circle? How did they let you in? You see guys doing 200,000, 50,000 a month.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
We didn't even start at doing that. That was from zero. Originally what had happened is I had been invited into this Discord server. So I go in and I just message everybody I see inside of the server, "Hey, how's it going? How are you?" And they would host these calls, and there would be these group calls with people that would be in there, and they'd be at different levels. You'd have people making 10K a month, people that are just starting, and they would all just literally make videos together. We'd do film sessions where everyone would turn their camera off for an hour, go and film, and we'd review it and edit it after.
Oh, that's so good.
Really cool.
It's great for getting people to actually take action and have accountability.
Yeah, it was next level. It was really, it was a fun thing too. It was you're working with people that you like. It didn't feel like work. It felt like a fun group project. Yeah, and that was definitely it was great times. And we'd be on call for 8, 9 hours, and it would just be this group of maybe 10 guys. And over time, we'd all start getting certain wins. And at that time, I actually started really taking dropshipping serious was when everybody started winning and I was the one who was still stuck.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy in the group.
No, you can't be. So I remember I looked and I said out loud, I am going to post 3 times a day, every single day, like on this one brand. I wasn't even going to change the product until I hit $100,000 or until I die. And like at the time, I was like purely committed to being like still posting 3 times a day when I was 80 years old and on my deathbed. Like unironically, like that's the extreme that my mind went to is I'm like, do I really commit? Like, yeah, am I ready to be 80 years old on my deathbed? Like, yeah, I'll still do it if I didn't hit the goal. Like, because I know I'm gonna hit it if
Right.
I just like make that commitment and just like the results don't matter. I'm committed.
Right.
And like
Well, I think this is actually a really important point, which is that you had a very straightforward thing to do, and you knew that input eventually equaled output, and you did not give up. And so, if you posted, eventually the results would come. You didn't know when, you didn't know how, you didn't know from which post. All you could do is know what is in my control, and then hope that the things that are out of your control come. But you took control of what is in your control.
absolutely. Like I say, I changed my measuring stick for what determines a win.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. A win is that you actually showed up.
exactly. Like, I think it's very easy to like, it's a downward spiral if your win is like this number on a screen or like the result because you don't hit it one time. Cool, that's your definition of a win. You're less motivated. Because you're less motivated, you work less hard. Because you work less hard, you get less of a result. And it's a downward, but it's an upward spiral when your measuring stick is, did I give 110% effort today? You have control over it. You do it. Okay, you get more excited and you get more excited. And then over time, it's a very compounding thing where eventually everything just clicks and it starts slower than expected, but usually grows like a lot quicker than expected.
Yeah, and I think this is something I've talked about with other people as well, is that in the beginning,
Was the word?
excuse me?
Was the word? In the beginning was the word?
In the beginning, you just chip away and there's no results. And I mean, something I talked about on all of my discussions with people is, and this is from Alex Hormozy, is the Valley of Despair. Are you familiar?
Oh yeah, I'm very familiar.
Every drop shipper, oh, my buddies did it. It's 1,000 a month. I've seen some other guy of mine do it. I see some guy driving around in Miami in a Lamborghini's 17 years old. I could probably do it. Must be easy. And then you try, you have uninformed optimism when you start. And then you try, you're like, okay, well, there's a lot of steps. It becomes more difficult than you thought, but I'm going to keep going. You're now at informed pessimism. And then you keep going and you've been posting for I don't know how many weeks. You post 3 times a day. You haven't gotten any results. And then you hit the valley of despair. And usually that's when people drop off and
Yeah.
something else to try affiliate marketing. And people who push through, and then you have the valley of despair that goes like this. You find, maybe I get a sale. Oh, shoot, I have informed optimism now. And then it just massively compounds on the tail end for the people who push through. And it goes from nothing, 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 one, nothing, 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 one, one, two, and then boom, it explodes one day.
It's crazy. And that's what's funny is the Valley of Despair doesn't just exist during the beginning. Like that's the worst part. If you forget the lesson. No, like, it's like it's such a big thing, and like that's what most of business is. There's like this illusion of people whose job is to make business this incredibly attractive butterfly because they make a lot of money when they do that. And the reality is a lot of it is boring. And like that's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
And you have to be a little bit insane, like a touch, but it's also very fun. But you have to know an incredible level of self-control and love doing the work versus loving the result of the work.
Yeah.
Because if that's not there, it can't go past that valley.
Yeah. Actually, this is an amazing point, which is if you're doing something just to make money, or if you're doing something that you hate, then when you get to that point where it's hard, you're not going to have the willpower to push through. But if it's something that you love, when you get to the point where it's hard, like, hey, I don't mind doing the hard thing because it's part of something that I love. And I interviewed a photographer before I talked to you, and she had tried yoga, she had tried doing social media management. And social media management, you could make as much money, if not more, than a photographer. But it didn't work out. And I was like, why didn't that work out? But photography did. She's like, I just love photography. So when I had that hard summer where I got virtually no money, I just kept going because I wanted to.
Wow.
And now she's making well over 6 figures and she's working on scaling her business. So it really does matter that it is something that you have some sort of natural inclination toward and emotional attachment to.
Absolutely. And when it gets hard, the first thing I say is good. Because that is where most people who are competing for the same exact trophy aren't going to be able to get it. And like each time you do that, like it's just adding another list of reasons onto like the stack of reasons why nobody will ever be able to be you.
I love that.
And it's like, okay, like, well, what if you are the person, like, for example, Mr. Beast? He's on, I think he was on a plane one year for 200 days out of the year. Like, insane. Like, what other YouTuber? It doesn't make sense. Like, if I'm doing YouTube videos and I want to make money as a YouTuber, it does not make sense. I will not be on a plane for 200 days. Like, why would you do that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why he's the number one YouTuber.
Actually, I love that so much because every time it gets hard, if you're doing something other people are doing and it got hard for you, that means that's when it gets hard for everyone else. So every time you cross that chasm, everyone else fell off. And then the herd of people, the crowd, it gets thinner and thinner and thinner on your path to the top. So when it gets hard, it says, oh, I now have an opportunity to be one of the few left.
Huge. And I would not be here if I did not intensively focus on doing incredibly hard things, because there has been times where there's been weeks where things have just been off. Like stuff happens, I don't know. And like I am not where I need to be in terms of output. But if that gap that I had built was like this close to me being in front, I would have been overtaken. But because I had a gap this big, when I came back and I was ready, there was no leadership loss.
Yeah. So who I'm speaking to with this information I'm trying to gather are people typically who are working a job, but they want more freedom and flexibility in their life. And they'd like to build something while working a job that could eventually turn into their full-time thing.
Smart.
That's who I'm speaking to. And I think I'm going to circle back to something, that Discord server. What you did was really interesting, where you know that there were people that were like people who you want to be, and you messaged a bunch of them, basically spraying and praying, which led you to a group of people that helped you grow. So can you tell me a little bit about what this server was? How did you find it? And then how can someone else find a server like it? Or another way if it's not a server.
Definitely. So the way that it originally formed is when, that group of people that I was talking about that I would always be on call with, like we all had successful dropshipping stores. And at this point I was posting on Twitter and I had someone hit me up who ran a big brand, and he said, hey, I'm looking for creators for my brand. And I'm thinking, I don't really want to do this, but it would be more fun with a group of people. Yeah. So I know all these people are great at content. Yeah. So I go and reach out to them and I say, okay, sweet. Like, you guys want to just do this all thing, like this whole thing together. So that's how it originally started. Sprint Socials. We formed a separate Discord server. And in there, we started taking these brand deals. I remember like there would be trips that we all wanted to make to Miami. So what we would do is we would have someone come in and no one would take any payment for the videos. And we just used the funds to all come to Miami and like work together, and we make videos there. So it was crazy because like the concept of it at the time is this trip cost 30 videos. And
that's why you measuring videos.
Yeah, we started measuring things in videos. We're like, okay, we all can go to Miami. It's just gonna be 30 videos. Like, let's go. And
do one thing and you know what you get out of it. And I think that's what so many people are craving. Say, could you just tell me what to do? And that if I do enough of it, I know I will succeed. And the problem is you give them the exact path and then some people still don't do it.
Huge. I think it boils down to like, this is the sad part of things. There's a lot of people who claim ambition, but ambition's a two-sided coin. And there is going to be a directly, Newton's third law, equal and opposite reaction. There's a directly proportionate level of difficulty that comes in with like this ambition and this like grand end goal. And
if you easy, everyone would do it. And so if you want to really make a lot of money or succeed, you have to do something that other people are not capable of doing or willing to do.
Exactly. And like, just to reference Alex Hormozi again, like, okay, do you want to be exceptional? Most people, yeah, of course. Okay, let's look at the root of the word exception. That means you have to become the exception, which means the thing that is not what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
It's a simple thing, but it's hard, and it sounds great. It sounds like success, hard work, until you're actually there.
Yeah.
Like everyone wants to run a marathon until you're actually running on their like 20th mile. And they're like, like, oh shit, okay. And it's like, Like, that's the concept of it. Like, you have to want something more than the pain that comes with it. And if you have two things, one is delusional self-belief, nobody can tell you no. And two is consistency, the ability to just keep getting back up. Like there's like this great meme that went around TikTok and it was called like the indomitable human spirit. And it is insane how many hardships humanity has faced in general. Like you've had famines, you've had droughts, you've had earthquakes, you've had volcanoes, Pompeii, you've had wars, you've had plagues, like you've had the Black Plague, it, like exterminated, I think like 80% of Europe. But like every single time, like humanity cannot be stopped. We have rocket ships that go to the moon. We have like these crazy planes that fly at 1,000 miles plus per hour. We have like all these insane innovations despite like this natural, it's called equilibrium in quantum terms, quantum physics terms. And equilibrium, or it's entropy. It's entropy, which is the default state of how things are. And the truth is, the default neutral state of how things are is chaos and disorder. If you have a garden and you leave this garden for 2 years, you're going to come back and it's overrun. If your body defaults to entropy, your heart stops beating, your lungs stop breathing, and like by definition, by defaulting to entropy, you die. And by what life is, and Jeff Bezos explained this as the last letter to Amazon shareholders, he said to fight entropy because entropy is death. And by us being alive right now, our bodies are consuming energy from food we eat to resist that state of entropy. And by definition, resistance to where you're being naturally dragged down towards is life. So the more resistance you create, the more alive you are. And it is the natural state.
Things you create, the more alive you are. Can you give us a real world example of that? How it applies to making money?
Absolutely. I would say it's an incredible level of like your default state. If you were to start posting content, right? Your default state when you get up in the morning and get back from working a hard shift, and maybe, there were some issues there and someone annoyed you, and you get back and you're like, okay, I can now drink a glass of wine and watch TV, or I could get to work. And to make the decision to get to work is incredibly hard at the first couple of times until it becomes a habit. And that's your natural state of entropy. Like that's where you are being naturally dragged towards. It's the easy default neutral. But by creating resistance to it, A, you feel you're just giving yourself more evidence for why you can do it. You do it 10 times in a row, you're like, oh yeah, I can do this.
Yeah.
And then over time, you win. And like you win because when you like, I guess if you want to use like an analogy every day of like, okay, today I'm going to war. You go to war against this hard, and that is what you're looking to kill every single day because there's this perfect version of you, like this war, and like there's this perfect version of yourself, and this version of yourself that is your, I guess, inverse of who you want to be. And each time you have to kill that version of yourself. And there was like this great analogy where, it kind of made it click for me once. And it was the cost of your new life is the death of your old one.
It's true.
And it's a hard thing because it is killing your entire identity. Like you are not the same person whatsoever. Like you are polarly different.
Yeah. I've gone through many different versions of who I am. And I used to not be happy with the person that I was, but over time you kind of learn to accept who you were and integrate to who you are, and then just be the best version of all of the versions of you. And like think about the versions that you thought weren't serving you, but there were certain qualities in it that just naturally can use and channel that in ways that are productive.
Most people won't really get that. That's that's some sauce. But
Shadow?
dude, that's
Shadow work?
yeah, pay attention to that one. But no, I the way I say it is like the neurological networks are essentially infinite for the amount of people that you can be. Like you have this bubble of infinite potential, and like there's this concept of like in quantum physics, to reference it again, of a state which like everything exists in until it's observed or measured, and it's essentially a state of
Schrodinger's cat?
of every infinite possible, there you go, every single possible state that it exists in. And like that's the way that I see the future version of yourself. The current, you're already here. The future version at any point is this ball of infinite potential that can take the form of anything that you observe or measure it as. And if like the neurological path, like scientifically, if you were to like open up someone's brain like they're Frankenstein and like look, okay, like yeah, you can become that person. Like it's built, like it's not like there's like a blocker in there. Like you can do that, and it's just about making like that conscious decision and understanding that it's already there. Like it's not this foreign thing that might or may not be there that you might be able to grab onto. It exists. You just have to observe it, integrate yourself into that identity, become obsessed with thinking about it, and then take action to validate it, because your brain doesn't know the difference between a truth and a lie. If I say that the moon is purple, and every time I'm going out with like a purple lenses on, I'm just giving myself heaps of evidence, and other people around me are saying the same thing, like over time I'm gonna believe the moon is purple. Like you lose this distortion of what is real and what isn't. You could just lie yourself into massive success, which is the crazy part.
Yeah, some people call it manifesting.
No, I like my term better.
What was your term exactly?
Oh, lying yourself into massive success.
Lie, take it till you make it.
Yeah. Oh, don't tell J Park that.
So one thing I do want to point out on a scaled business level, how you have a creator network, we won't call it an agency, but for the creator network side of the business, that happened not because you were trying to start a business. It happened because someone asked you to do something, and then they had a problem at a business level that you then solved.
It is radically different today than when I started.
Mm.
And exactly. I believe Colgate was like a candle wax company when they started, like this radically different company. And yeah, the way that it started was like this small little thing that looked insignificant in the short term. And
Yeah.
in my opinion, like when I was like in that like directional perspective, I'm like, oh, okay, this is like this small little fun thing to do where we can all work together and go to Miami.
Yeah.
And it's great because but
This is Miami.
yeah, this is the Airbnb that I got for a day, But like the way that I see it is you would be so incredibly surprised when you choose one thing that you're never gonna see the vision or the path when you start. It's like you're gonna go crazy trying to figure it out. I mean, even in like where we're at right now, we have a lot of power on TikTok with the creatives we distribute, make up a large percentage of shop sales. And even now, like we can't think 2 months ahead because it's just so quick paced, where we think, this might be where we end up, but it totally might not be. And it's just, I love Steve Jobs' playbook to this. And what he would do is every day he would wake up and he would look at the list of the top 3 most important things that he could get done in the next 18 hours.
Signal and noise.
Yeah, signal noise. Kevin O'Leary. Yeah, great one. And he would just do that day over day over day. And he'd, let's chip away. The man who wants to walk 1,000 miles starts the day by walking 20 miles, setting up his tent and saying, tomorrow I'll start again. Like, that's exactly what it is. It's this grand vision, and all it is like one little chunk of it at a time, and be fully present in that one area. And eventually you end up at the destination.
Yeah, I think a big problem that a lot of people have when they try to be an entrepreneur is they pursue too many ideas and they don't see any of them through. And it's all related. It's like the valley of despair, the compounding effect, everything that you're talking about with signal and noise. Today I was on a call. I'm doing some kind of freelance advising of people to try to help them find their thing and get started with it so that I can learn how to productize that for my platform. And today Sarah was telling me how she says, well, I'm working in a restaurant and making this much. I have a business on the side where I teach yoga. I had talked to 2 people who teach yoga on the side.
Really?
And I also do this other business that is with water related, and then another business which is insurance related.
Yeah.
I said, okay, why are you asking me for something else? And she says, oh, it's good to have 7 streams of income. I'm like, okay, hold on. Let's put that aside for a second in terms of whether or not you're at a point where that matters. Which one of those things that you're currently working on can actually deliver the most for you? She said, well, there's one that if I can just do that, I would just do that. And I said, okay,
Just do that.
what will it take for you to be able to just do that?
So, well, I have to win a couple more clients or whatever. I said, okay. And this was the water treatment business, which was really unique,
Really cool.
seemingly random thing. And I said, what if you spent all the time that you would have done with yoga, all the time that you would have done with insurance on that instead of doing those things? You kept your job that, your restaurant job, so you pay the bills and you don't go live on the streets. And you spend all your other time doing the other thing until that makes enough. And then you switch. She's like, honestly, I just really needed to hear that. I said, great, go do that.
It's funny. Like, there is a lot of times where, the answer,
Yeah.
but there's this like confirmation that needs to happen from somebody who has been there. And then it's like, okay, sweet. Like, I'll take action. Okay, wait, you're right. And it just makes you feel better. But like the reality of it is, which is the incredibly hard part, is you just never are going to know at some point where everything that you do is based off of intuition or as educated of a guess as possible. And it's funny because I think like that's where things really unlock. Like, you're running in, like, to put it visually, there's like this cliff and there's like this dark chasm at the bottom of it. And if you're walking like nothing, you're just going to fall. If you just like full sprint run, all of a sudden like this path appears out of nowhere, and it's terrifying, but you can't slow down. You can't slow down.
Building a plane while you fly off a cliff,
Yeah, that's the best way I would say. And like, to doing other things as well, like, there's no such thing as multitasking. It's just like you're just bouncing back and forth between two areas of focus where you can never get into a flow state in either thing. Like, for example, like, count from 1 to 10 out loud. I do this with my team all the time. Count from 1 to 10 out loud as fast as you can. So
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
there you go. Now say your ABC's the 10th letter. I'll give you a hint. It's J. As fast as you can. Go.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, or J.
Yeah, there you go. Now rotate them back and forth. 1A, 2B, as quick as you can. Go.
1A, 2B, 3C, 4D, 5E, 6F, 7.
Oh, wait. It took you longer and you messed up. And like, that's the concept of like doing two things at once.
This is an amazing point. When I took over running a technology company, they were doing an amount of revenue. It was kind of flat for like 3 years.
Wow.
And then I came in and we grew a lot. And
I remember the picture.
in hindsight, people ask me, well, what did you do? What was the secret? And I said, well, there was no secret. It was just saying no to everything that's not the one thing that we do better than everyone else. And we just doubled down on that one thing. We looked at our data. We found more people that we could serve with that one thing. And then we just eliminated distractions, and that got us to grow to a significant point.
So it wasn't your incredible physique that convinced all the... No,
Put the team on my back.
wait a minute. Yeah. But no, exactly. And that's such a core thing that I wish I realized that I spent a lot of time like kind of fumbling over, was this idea of like so many opportunities. It's incredibly hard because like the reality is there are these things that you can do that will produce upside. And yeah, and like that's the worst part too, because you're saying no to something that, like, let's say someone offers you, you're starting up and like you're starting to make content, you're making say $2,000 a month, and someone here now offers you on the side to go do a window washing business, and it's like on the side and you make an extra $1,000 a month. And it's incredibly easy to be like, oh sweet, there's $1,000 a month here. But like the best analogy I can give for it is if you had two stocks to invest in, one produces a guaranteed 2x ROI and one produces a guaranteed 10x ROI, but you only have $5,000. And the natural assumption of what most people end up doing is like, oh, I'm getting money here on this 2x, I'm making money, sweet, let me put it here, 2,500, or if, yeah, 2,500, they'll end up making $5,000 if I'm good at math, and then they'll put the other 2,500 in the 10 grand or the 10x ROI, and they'll end up coming out with 25,000. And they're like, sweet, I ended up making 35,000 here. Or 30,000. Sorry, really bad at math, not my strength. But whenever you look at that, that's not actually a win. You actually lost, and it's the opportunity cost. If you had just put it all in the 10x, you would have made 50 grand, and you would have beat it out by like 25 grand. You actually lost 25 grand. And focus is about saying no to good opportunities.
Yeah, I can talk about focus for an hour, if not more. However, the purpose of this meeting with me and you today
is to talk about an opportunity for people to make money in a job that could turn into a full-time business and give them freedom while they're doing it. First, could you introduce what it is and how it works? And then I'll ask some specific questions about it.
Absolutely. And I am like so incredibly set on it. Like, this is a hill that I will die on for anybody new into the online business world, and for anybody looking to do something that isn't going to consume their life because they have a job on the side. Like, TikTok Shop Affiliate is by far the best vehicle to get into. And what it is you're making content, you're a content creator, right? You're pushing products and you're selling these products with TikTok videos, and these aren't your products. You don't deal with any inventory management. You're not dealing with any ad spend. You're not spending any money. You're just selling these products, posting videos for free, and you get to take a percentage of everything that you sell on the app. And it's just pushing these very well-known products, making great content that goes viral, and then making a ton of money when you get a video that does.
And you have how many creators in your network right now?
15,000.
To 15,000. So if someone starts this, what's like a typical range, a low end, and let's say they just got started, it's a few months in, it's less than a year, a low end that they can make. And then for the people who do well, not like the 1%, but the top quartile, what's an upper range that someone who's good but not the best could expect to make?
I would love to show this on the camera. I don't know if I can.
You just send it to me, we could edit it.
There we go. So you can see this is just our wins channel. So this is like newer creators. This was Morris here. So he did $3,600 on the day. He's been affiliate for some time. This is a newer creator, $81 on the day. And we had someone who said they started 2 months ago up here. I want to find this one. Look at it. Wow, that's crazy. So blessed to be a TikTok Shop affiliate. $56,000 in bank statements. This one's crazy. $22,000 on the day, and GMV was $6,000 in commission.
Wow.
And it gets even crazier because this is one that I definitely want to show. Here it is. Like, you can read this.
This one says, learning to live well has gone fantastic. Last month was 12K commission. Goal is to double this month. And then there's a screenshot. It says key data, GMV 13.1 thousand, items sold 433, and so forth.
And there was another one. I don't think that one was the one I wanted to show. Just woke up, sick AF, 5,700 in commission. Just woke up. That's crazy. 2,000 on the day. Okay. Yeah, here's the one. Here's the one. Oh, wait, no, never mind. That's not the one. I lied. That's the second month of over 1K. Wow, November. Okay, here it is. Read that one right there in the middle.
November 8th will be my second month on TikTok Shop. And then there's a screenshot. It says GMV 12.8 thousand, estimated commission 4.3 thousand. Product views 4.9 million. And this is in the last 7 days. So this is 1 week. This person worked 4.3 thousand in a week after doing this for less than 2 months.
Less than 2 months.
Okay.
Is incredible. Like, the one thing I will say is, like, our average, right? It just depends on whether or not you're consistent. And TikTok's different because it's not your traditional, like, social media that most people think of whenever they're thinking of, oh, I have to go viral. The first thought is I have to get a bunch of followers. That's true with Instagram, like, completely different with TikTok. With TikTok, it is a level playing field for everybody. Some of the top creators, if you go to the data and you look at the top creators, about 2 of the top 10 have less than 16,000 followers.
Really?
Yeah, incredible. It's a level playing field, and it's about whoever can produce the most amount of content in the shortest span of time is going to inevitably learn it the quickest. And inevitably, when you cast that big of a net, you're going to win. And you don't even have to know content too, which is the craziest part. You don't have to be good. What you can do is there's these products that are incredibly viral on TikTok that everybody knows. For example, like Goalie, one of our clients, everybody's seen them on TikTok. There's people actively looking to buy. There are these accounts that will go and they'll post 20 videos a day, about 6 seconds long. I'll just record the Goalie bottle, and then I'll put in flash sale, like discount, get 3 bottles for less than like $1 a day. And I'll post these videos. I'll post like 20 of them. And what happens is people will see this video, and they aren't sold by the video. They already know the product.
Recognition from having seen it before.
Exactly. And they see that, oh, there's a sale.
Lottery ticket.
There's a sale. But here's where it gets even crazier. There is this feature that all the brands have to use now on TikTok called GMV Max. It's like on the hat, GMV Max hacking. But what it is it's this ad campaign that has this set budget. And it will spend across every single video that gets made for the product, regardless of who you are, if you have your ad account authorization turned on in your account settings. And these videos that get some sales early on, like obviously it's not going to go viral by itself. It's just a 6-second video. No one's going to engage. But the spend starts picking up on it because people are buying. And all of a sudden, this ad spend starts to lift up these videos that are like 3 to 6 seconds long that would never go viral because it's just capturing all of these re-engaged, what we call bottom of funnel buyers.
It's a feedback loop.
And like,
It's a feedback loop.
it's crazy. Like, can you post 20 videos a day that are 6 seconds long with putting text on a screen calling out a sale? Okay, cool. You can make money.
All right, so I'm going to circle back and get concrete numbers in your opinion, because what I'm going to have to do after this is go on my website and give a range. What is a typical range someone new can expect to make on a monthly basis that is realistic and not abnormal?
Got you. Is this person actually consistent?
Let's say that they're consistent. They're
The average. Like,
average.
okay,
They're consistent but average.
the average person that posts for 90 days, at least 2 times a day for 90 days, will end up making about $5,000 a month extra
In what period of time will they be earning that?
in about 90 days.
In about 90 days. So after 90 days, you'll be 60 grand a year.
Yeah.
And then how much time does it take to post twice a day?
Like,
Like realistically, to make 60 grand, certain quality of content. I mean, obviously, you just pray and spray 6-second videos that might get you there, but people who are going to do the best job.
I want to show you something. This is a text I got from one of our creators. Let me find it. Crazy. There's some hustlers out there. There's some people that like blow me away.
So one of his creators texted him and said, wait, I'm doing 240 videos today. Okay, so let's talk about stability. Is this something that could produce stable income, or is this just like every single time you post, it's a completely fresh, like you said, level playing field lottery ticket?
Absolutely. So the stability is, it can be incredibly stable for a 3 to 4 month period. And the reason is you'll have videos that go viral and start to earn for, 3 months because they're still going viral and there's attention on your page. There's a few affiliates who have been able to crack incredible consistency with it, but I don't see that as like the goal. I think it's amazing to have an extra 100 grand in your bank. Gives you a lot of insight to kind of look and say, take a step back and say, okay, like, whoa, okay, I have a lot more power to swing a lot bigger. What's next? Or at the same time, there's a lot of creators who are making money very consistently from just retainers, not even commission. So if they go viral, they already have proof of concept. There's brands that'll go out there, pay them $500 to $1,000 per 30 videos. And they'll have a back burner engine of these retainers that are bringing in $3,000 to $4,000 per month and decide where to go from there. Maybe they pivot into owning a brand. Maybe they pivot into making content and owning one of their own creator networks where they teach other creators how to do it. And maybe we've had a lot of creators who've done this just end up being able to get a fully remote job at an agency as a director of content or as a content coach, paying 150 grand a year just because you have the proof of concept of being able to make it work. So there's so many opportunity doors that come out of it besides just the cash.
Yeah, also if you're posting content, you never know who's gonna contact you.
Oh,
You never know what doors will open. But I do like how
that's true.
I call dropshipping a gateway drug into entrepreneurship. I think that this also is similarly that, except I would go as far as to say that this is more obtainable for everyday people because there's less steps. Other people handle logistics. You have proven brands that you work with.
So this might actually have a lower barrier to entry for people who are totally green to start and have similar upside to dropshipping with less complexity.
Now, here's where I explain the part of it. The barrier to entry, right? So in order to be a TikTok Shop affiliate, you have to have 5,000 followers on TikTok, which honestly is incredibly easy to get. It's not that hard, especially if you do your research.
Brother, I'm trying right now.
There's a ton of Google articles out there explaining, but our best way that we like to use is you get a video that's pretty viral of like some girl dancing, and then you want to invert it in CapCut. So go to CapCut and then use the mirror thing because it'll switch it just so the algorithm won't detect that it's a reposted piece of content. You zoom in a little bit and then you apply like a small little filter so it looks completely organic, and you export it in CapCut. It has to be CapCut because CapCut's metadata.
Yeah.
It works on TikTok. Nothing else will work other than CapCut or just TikTok's editor. And from there, you put in text on TikTok that basically says like, I don't know, keep the video, or in the caption you put like follow for follow, or I'm following everyone that follows me. Like let's make a comment train.
Yeah.
And then you use the promote tool. And if you put like $20 behind that promote tool, it'll start, and you select the objective as followers. TikTok will start to heat that out, and it's going to have a button that people can then click to follow. And if it's a existing viral video, like some girl dancing, that's your targeting. So whoever would watch that video is who you want to target. And also at the same time, it's super engaging because you have a lot of people that are commenting. So you get a much lower CPM, like cost per milli, which is like cost per 1,000 impressions. If it's like a video that no one really watches, then maybe your cost per, 1,000 impressions might be all the way over here. But if it's an already viral video that's like super funny and entertaining, or a lot of people engage and watch it, then your cost per 1,000 impressions is all the way down here, and you can get it for less than 5 cents per follower. I've seen several 1 cent per follower. And then you just start posting organically on the account, just making simple replications of viral videos you see on your feed. And you can get easily 5,000 followers in the span of less than a week. Seen people who are completely new to TikTok come in and do it.
Loud.
Yeah, it is loud. Yeah, surprisingly.
I think that TikTok has content repurposing goals, and that
They do.
correct creators are they actually market as
They do. They do if it's, but we avoided the detection. We put it in CapCut, mirrored it, zoomed in a little bit, and put a filter.
Okay, but it is allowed either way. Is the point?
Oh, content? No, it's not, unfortunately.
What you're recommending right now?
No, it's only allowed if you bypass it. So you kind of sneak past the detection by mirroring it. So everything that's on the right of the video is now on the left of the video. You zoom in a little bit,
Yeah.
and then you overlay the filter, and it can't tell the difference between that video and the original video posted on the platform.
Okay.
Yeah, a little glitchy.
See no evil, speak no evil.
Oh, TikTok. No, don't worry. They love it. They love it.
Yeah, probably more engagement is always better for them. So income stability, the point is, this is kind of a mid-level stability. In the beginning, it's probably very unstable. Yeah. And then once you get videos that go viral, that video can produce relatively stable, but then you have to keep finding the new viral thing over and over again. But you can then use that to build something else that then is stable.
Phil and Rose right there, they both started as creators, and they both are making content. Now, Phil made 30 grand a month as a creator. Doesn't make anything as a creator. Doesn't really post. Same thing with Rose. She also made 30 grand a month as a creator. Now doesn't really make much, but they're both living in Miami, doing incredibly well. Phil, one of our clients, Goalie, paid for his apartment in 1010 Brickell completely for the year.
Yeah.
And it's just because he used that as a launchpad to get connected into, networks of people and to find opportunity, where he came in our Discord and he was helping creators. And we're like, oh, we really need people who are good creators who can help other creators. Like, come join our team. We'd love to have you. Same thing with Rose. And they did. And now it's crazy. It worked out incredibly well. It's been well over a year now. And it is it's been a great launchpad.
So we've talked about people who have made a lot of money. Is there a cap on earnings to this in any sort of way? Anything that would limit someone from scaling up?
The highest that I've seen on the platform is about like $700K in commission in a month, which is an anomaly. Yeah, which is an anomaly. We had a creator do 1.7 million in GMV in commission, or in commission was 490 grand.
Anomaly, but
Very
the
far
point is that there is no limit on how this could scale.
Yeah, it is definitely an anomaly.
Fulfilling the orders.
The average, if you're a good creator, like you start doing a lot of volume and you get really good and you take on some retainer deals and you have the commission on the back burner, you could, like that type of creator where it's like, you know, you have your average people here and then you have your good people here, is about 10 to 15K per month in profit. And, you know, everything else, you know, definitely 100% possible. Seen it several times. It's just a much smaller amount of people that have put in a lot of dedication to getting past, you know, like hitting the $50,000 months, the $100,000 months, but it does exist.
Okay. And how difficult is to scale up in terms of earning a lot of money? Obviously, some people get lucky.
Yeah.
Is there something that's a skill that people can learn in order to more reliably scale other than consistent posting?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's understanding your customer, number one, understanding just how TikTok is. I always say to, you know, post on TikTok and to be good at it, like you have to be on TikTok. There's a lot of tools that you can use. The daily virals, if you look up the daily virals, this will show you all of the top viral TikTok shop videos. You can filter it by your niche, you can filter it by your demographic, and literally just making it a habit to like watch 20 videos per day that are viral. Like subconsciously, when you start recording, you won't even really know the reason why, but you'll start implementing these elements like a super visual hook, like these different ways of saying your call to action. And like you just understand how to replicate it. Like the biggest playbook that I could give anyone to make, like the simplest playbook would be to A, post a lot of content, B, to have that content be replications of something that's already working for somebody like you.
The wheel.
Exactly. And then just take learnings based on what works and do more of the stuff that works and do less of the things that don't work, and do that for like 6 months. And like inevitably you will win in the simple playbook. The tips that I would give is like everything is your first 3 seconds. Everything. Like your brain recognizes if a video is an ad or not. I believe in 0.9 milliseconds was a number. They did a study with Coca-Cola and it was like an advertorial study. And they did basically like how quick could somebody recognize that something is an ad. And it was crazy because they also found out some other really interesting things that are unrelated in there. But like the recognition and the scroll that happens, you have way less time than you think. Any time where there's not anything going on, you lose your viewer. Like if you watch a Mr. Beast video and like the first, like you pop one up here and like just play the intro of the Mr. Beast video. It's like sound effects. I got this. And it's like fast. And you need a visual hook, something like I say, the blind and deaf rule. Your hook has to capture the attention of someone who's blind and someone who's deaf. And that means you have to have something that's super weird and visual. We've had people drop water balloons on their head and like those went crazy viral. And then it has to be, you know, obviously you have to say something too. Like for example, if it's the water balloon, they had like a blue water balloon and blue food dye, and it was like the Goli ashwagandha product, which is like a blue gummy. And it says, it calls out the problem initially. And it says, if you're getting sugar cravings at night, listen up, and then drops the water balloon on their head. And anybody who's getting sugar cravings in the night is like, A, caught by the visual hook, but B, also called out directly. And now you have their attention. And we say it's the 3 C's. All you have to do is the 3 C's with attention. Attention's your currency. You need to capture attention, hook. You need to contain the attention through the rest of the video and sell the customer. And then you have to convert that attention. That's your call to action and the way that you sell to that pain point. So CCC, capture, contain, convert.
I think attention is currency is such an important point going into the AI era where all these jobs are going to be taken, and then even technology can be created with just a prompt. In that world, how can you actually create value? And I believe that if you can get attention of human beings and connect human beings or with a message, if you have an audience, that is going to be digital gold in the future, because that's what everyone is going to be fighting for when everything else gets taken over by AI.
Weird trend that we picked up on, really weird. I believe that is incredibly true. And the more genuine that you are and truly authentically weirdly yourself, the better in the future, because we've had patterns. Like, even if you look at, people going viral now on social media and what they're saying, it's like just these like weird things. It's like super raw, super authentic. Like, it's not polished up. And it's the same thing with TikTok content that we see going viral. It's not like this incredibly hyper edited content. Like, all the content shouldn't be edited. Like, we have videos that go incredibly viral with no captions even. Like, at most, I would recommend just using TikTok's auto caption, make it small, slide it to like the middle section under, like by the volume button of your phone, or like a little bit down. And that's all you need, because it's authentic and it's real. And with AI, like, AI is going to produce these sales infomercial scripts of like, hey, are you suffering with this, pain point? Well, I have something for you. Listen up. This is this product. And it's like this salesy thing where if you can get like fully in tune with like, how do you speak? Do you like the product? I highly recommend people to push products that they actually use and love, because it's more natural. It's all about natural. And I see that being a really, really big trend, is the more natural and authentic you are, and weird and unprofessional and almost like unconventional, where it just seems like, a little bit loosely put together. I think that's what wins and separates the AI content perfection from like the real humans.
I think that's maybe one good thing that's coming out of AI, is that authenticity is now going to be valued a lot more than before.
Whoa, interesting. Yeah.
So if you were trying to set someone's expectations, and let's pretend that this person was going to be a creator for you,
Oh yeah, have this answer.
and they get started and they're wondering how long it takes for them to make money, their first sale, their first few sales, and you want to make sure that you give them like a range that will not kind of oversell or undersell, but make them have something that they could actually achieve and should expect. What would that range of time be to make a sale?
So I'll tell you what I tell people, and I'll tell you what I believe. So what I tell people is, you are going to post 3 times a day, every single day for 90 days straight, and you are going to see $0. Make it to the 90 days. And by the time they make it to the 90 days, they're not seeing $0. So like, they keep going. It's like, but like, that's what like, that should be your frame going into it, is like, okay, 3 months, 90 days. If you look at how incredibly, like, if you had blocks for each 3 months of the, of the year for the rest of your life, right? Like, you have all of these massive blocks. And if you are right now living a life that you believe you can do better in, that you're not content with, right? Like, you might think you have like all the 3-month blocks that have been lived up until this point that are like, whatever, they're just faded out. And then you have the one that you're at now, which is white. And then all of these other blocks that are down here representing the rest of your life are red. And what you're doing is you're looking at that next block of 3 months and you're saying, I'm going to take this, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to like turn this block red. In exchange for turning this block red, in exchange for killing this block, I'm going to make all of these other blocks green in the way that I want to live for the rest of my life. And it's like, when you visualize it like that, you're like, oh, like, why not? It's this incredibly small amount of time, and the potential opportunity that I get from like actually just doing this is immense and changes the entire rest of my life. Like, why not try? And most people don't make it past the first 3 months. And it's not because the people that don't make it past the first 3 months are the people who did not post 3 times a day, every single day for the first 3 months, every single time. And I would say like a realistic expectation is, if you're posting 3 times a day and you're not just posting like this, like, content in their free time, just kind of like not really giving it much attention to just check it off a to-do list. You're actually like looking at it and you're trying, you're giving effort. In your first 3 months, you should easily be making anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 per month. Yeah.
And so how soon, if someone actually is trying and posts 3 times a day, should they see their first sale?
I would say normally we have a lot of people who see their first sales, if they do post 3 times a day, within the first 1 to 2 weeks. It's pretty quick, especially if like you do want to make sure you have the right products, right? You want a viral product. Now what you can do is there's like,
Don't you guys make sure that they have the right products? Like,
oh yeah,
first with you, then you handle product identification, brand training,
Oh yeah, all the things.
We do it all for free. So like that's the crazy part, is because we have relationships with these brands, and just like you're a creator earning a percent of every sale, these contracts that we have with these brands also pay us a percentage of every sale that our group makes, and you get to keep your full commission. And it's great because what's that allowed us to do is like it's allowed us to have these brands that are pre-approved brand deals from the most viral brands on TikTok that are great fits for creators, but also integrate a system where we now have hours of courses to learn. We now have coaches that hop on calls for each brand once per week where you can learn from them, you can talk to them. We have content review where they'll tell you, hey, maybe change this in your content. There's the network of people. Like I started off in the network of people like learning together. Same thing. You have 15,000 people. You're going to find a few people that are like you. And, you know, it's like we give every resource and we arm these creators to be able to go out there and do it. All it takes is like the effort, and we do it all for free.
So people don't need to go find that Discord server because you have the 15,000 people that are like the people that they want to be.
Discord.gg/creator circle. Everything's completely free. We will actually sponsor accounts. So we'll pay for accounts for people. I got a really great idea, like inspiration from my buddy Benny. He runs Glitchy. It's like another affiliate network, but for media buying affiliate. And he has like this crazy like platform where he looks at all the data and whole sponsor spend coupons to all of his new people for like $200 or $300. It's like,
I'd love to talk to you.
oh dude, that one would be nuts. This guy he's 22, $120 million company. When he was 11, he scammed Apple out of 120 grand. No one ever found out. Pixel Gun 3D, bro. He bought like, he found a way to jailbreak his phone. He found a way to like create like a blank card and basically bought $120,000 worth of items on his iPad when he was 11. And like there was no actual real card there. The transaction just went through and gave him all the stuff. Then Apple calls his mom and is like, yo, your son spent 130 grand on your, and she starts freaking out. She's like, oh, what the? And she's like, okay, like we'll refund it. So they go and they refund the $120,000. He kept all those Pixel Gun 3D items, to be fair. And she found out like a day later that like none of the charges ever posted and they were never there and they never happened. And
it was got the money and the stuff.
Yeah, you get the money and the stuff. It was crazy. Wild. No one ever found out.
Really 260,000.
Been a decade. No one's ever found out.
Well, they know now.
Oh, no, Benny told it on a podcast once. He did say it on a podcast once. He said it's been probably long enough time where he doesn't get it for it. But Steve Jobs, if you're, watching from above, don't send this video to like, what is it? Wozniak or something?
So I think this is a really interesting point. Does it cost anything for people to start? Is there any investment at all, or do you just start making profit immediately?
There's no money needed if you don't want to put any money up front. It might take a little bit longer. And the one reason I say that is if you want to buy an account that's already at 5,000 followers, you can do that.
So it's if you have 5,000 followers, it's zero. The only reason it would cost money is if you either acquire an account with 5,000 followers or you pay to promote a post to get 5,000.
Exactly. Yep. Once you have 5,000 followers, zero. Unless you want to personally go out and buy samples from brands to push. You don't even have to, because there's a sample request option where you can request a free sample, and I'll show you like a visual of what this looks like, right? Where if I go on my TikTok account.
Yeah, and some screen recording this too.
Easy will do. And if I go to, where's this here? Shop. And I see that there's like, this cool product here that I want to request a sample from. It's going to pop up here at the bottom, and you can see I can now earn, I'm going to wait for it to load. Come on. Oh, here it is. So I can see you can earn $3.20 per sale. You can see that there's flash sales here, 100% positive reviews, and I can go and click get sample. And
not only with this do you make money, you also get free stuff.
I just got called by a creator the other day, got a new apartment, furnished the whole thing with TikTok Shop.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. It's the craziest thing ever. A request from seller. So you can there's two options. You can either request the free sample, so the seller has to approve it, and they approve a large majority of the creators. You don't have to be great. they might, if it's a higher, like a more expensive product, like a $500 item, they might be a lot more strict about who can get it. Normally, like these cheap products here, they'll just auto approve everybody. Or, you know, if you really want something, you can also order a refundable sample where you get your sample and you basically pay for it. And if you generate the set amount of sales, so 2 sales on it, then they give you a refund on the sample. And of course, like all the commission on it. But yeah, you get a bunch of free items. It's arguably the best part. It gets pretty crazy because when you end up as like a really great creator, like we have a brand Metacube and SolarWave. Metacube, they do like 730 million a year in revenue. They have crazy price products of like $180 skincare bundles. Like I'm sure people watching this, if they have like a wife, like they know it and love it. But they'll ship out like $500 worth of like beauty product samples to these creators, and they'll approve a lot of them. So it's a great perk.
And so how much is really the maximum that someone should be prepared to spend to get 5,000 followers?
If you want to buy an account, which I would say be incredibly careful, know who you're dealing with, do it through a referral or an introduction, because there's a lot of accounts that you could buy that are botted. And if you buy an account that has botted followers, normally your targeting is just going to be, you could still make it work, but it's an uphill battle. It's a lot harder. I would strongly recommend like using just posting organically. It's not that hard. You can do it even without using promo coupons very easily in the span of a week. Like I've had several creators who haven't spent $1 on it. Just start posting content, and they'll leave a comment on their videos. It'll just be regular viral videos where there's like a trending audio in the back, and it'll be like a relatable text on the screen. And they'll drop a comment in there and they'll say like, follow for more, or follow for like XYZ thing. And then you just go through and you look at viral posts on TikTok Shop that match these products that you want to promote. And you open up the comments and you go to all these profiles and you just start following them. You start following them. And then you drop comments on those videos too. And you want to drop something ideally a little bit controversial, something that grabs attention. It's like a hook in the form of a comment on these viral TikTok Shop videos. And because those TikTok Shop videos are targeting, you know, using a product that you want to push, you're getting the right people that are seeing that comment and that come to your page that you want. And at the same time, like if you're following those people, you're getting those followers. So now you have like this following base of 5,000 followers of these exact people that you want to sell to. Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah, we hacked it. I would love to take a random person from like 0 to 20K a month as an affiliate just for fun. Random viewer, random user.
I might take you up on that.
Yeah, I'm down.
I might take you up on that.
So down.
We'd film a case study.
So down.
Okay.
It's like it's already very plug and play. It's perfect.
So is this, you're talking about constantly posting, is there a way with this TikTok Shop affiliate model to create passive income?
Well, I mean, like temporarily, yeah, you can create passive income for a few months for sure.
Yeah, that's a bit.
I think passive income is like, you know, if you got a couple million in the bank, like a passive income, but then, you know, like you need active income. The best way to do it is like, there's like this, I think, like a nuance of the playbook to building wealth. And a lot of it goes like, you know, be able to save a lot of money, which I agree is incredibly important. To cut down on your expenses, you want to spend as, you know, your money's your opportunity. The more liquid capital you have, the more opportunity you have. Like, for example, even like if you did want to buy, I don't know, like a 5,000 follower TikTok account, normally, like if you had cut unnecessary expense, like, and you know, you want to shave these down, and now you actually have that. Now you buy opportunity in a way. So I see that as an incredibly important thing. But then like there's this other nuance of like you need to build multiple income streams. It's like this entrepreneur playbook that a lot of people have. You need to have all of like these, you need to have a business plan. You need to have like your tax setup done. And then you need to have passive income on top of that, like with the stuff coming in. And I like the save money part. I think that's important. I think most of the other stuff isn't necessarily important. I think like your plan is never going to be the same plan as you think it's going to be.
Right.
Like just start. Don't overthink it. Post, like click post. Your first sucks. Like your first always sucks. And I think a lot of people struggle getting over like pressing post the first time Because the reality is, like, if I were to go and ice skate, I suck at ice skating, and I've ice skated maybe twice in my life. So if I go out on the rink, guess what? I'm going to fall on my face. But if I want to start doing like ballerina tricks, like, cool, I might be like 5,000 skates away from doing it.
Yeah.
And like your first is never going to be good. Like nobody's first is good. Tom Brady's first football throw sucked. Like LeBron James' first basketball shot airballed. Like, like of course it sucks. Like you just have to click post, like start.
Yeah.
Big.
Totally agree. So moving on to flexibility, because who I'm targeting is people who want to create freedom in their
The
lives.
yoga people? Oh, my bad. Sorry. I thought you said you had two people who did yoga, and then you said flexibility. Sorry, I got that confused.
So people want to create flexibility in their lives,
Clearly.
physically through yoga, but mostly through the ability to have location freedom, time freedom,
Huge.
and freedom to be their own boss.
Yeah.
So, this is a pretty straightforward one, but is this truly something you can do from anywhere, or do you have to be somewhere where you can receive products? Does this have total location freedom?
Great question. If you're hacky enough to do it, yes. The one part is IP. So there's people that will go to, like, normally if it's like a neighboring country, you're fine. If it's like on the other side of the globe, TikTok will read you logging in and they'll be like, why is someone logging in who was in, Florida one day and is now in Indonesia? What's happening? And normally it'll place like a limit on your account. But the way to clear it out is to delete TikTok, clear its cache, download an eSIM to the US, and then re-download TikTok. And now TikTok reads you as from the US, and you just have to pack your samples with you. Or most of these brands do like end up it might take like a week and a half if you forgot a sample for it to land, where if you're in like, I don't know, very far away, but it'll still get there. Like you can do it.
Order samples globally, I guess. You're right.
Yeah.
You can't.
You could very easily do it. It's just like, you're not, you just have to bypass these like limits. Yeah. Prepare. Exactly. Yeah.
So I would say, if I were to say yes or no, I would say that this one is a yes. There are challenges, but it is a yes.
Yeah, it is a yes.
And what range of time per week should someone be prepared to invest when starting this? And if they wanted to go full time and still continue to make decent money, what is like the low end, the minimum that you need to invest to succeed? And then kind of the high end if you want to continue to do this for a living.
Definitely. I'm gonna like reference two extreme outliers here to give you like a range of variance. There's a creator I know that does 30,000 a month that works about 12 hours a day, 10 to 12. But then there's also a creator I know that also makes the same amount of money that makes one 30-minute video like every 3 days. And
Why is he so 80-20 there? What does the other one do so well that the other one is struggling with?
I even say this about like just business in general. Like there's no playbook, like there's no rule book. Like the crazy part is there's multiple different ways to do something. Like as massively successful as some people might be in, people that do organic content versus people that do ads, and they both say ads work incredibly well, that's how you build a brand. And one says organic works incredibly well, that's how you build a brand. They're both right. It's just different ways of doing it. I would say be the person that can work hard. That's a skill, because if you're the person who can't work hard, but you do make it work, if there ever comes a time where you need to work hard, you can't do it. But the main difference is some are snipers and some are ARs. The snipers, it takes an incredibly long time to be trained as a sniper and to hit with one bullet, like accounting for wind. Like you have to be good. Like you have to be really good, like way better than you think. And you get good through repetitions of action. Like you get good by being that creator who does post for, 20 videos a day.
Yeah.
And eventually you can become the sniper. But in the beginning, most people are ARs, and that's like shoot as many shots at goal as you can. And it's like probabilistic. If like you're a TikTok affiliate, right? Let's say you started posting content and you're posting like, I don't know, maybe 2 videos a day. It's like, what if like, okay, right now, every single lottery ticket is free for the next 24 hours. What are you going to do? You're going to like get in your car, you're going to start zooming to every gas station, clearing out these shelves and getting every lottery ticket because there's no downside, but an infinite upside. It's like, oh, wait, every video is your lottery ticket because you're putting it out there. It's free. And one video with 1 million views can easily pay out 15, 20 grand into your pocket. And like they are literally free. So I would say the average amount of work, to not get sidetracked, is probably about like, if you're doing it part-time, 3 hours a day. And
5 days a week, 7 days a week,
7 days a week. If you work 9 to
about 20
5,
hours a week.
yeah. If you work 9 to 5, I believe the number is 187 days that are available with weekends and holidays in the year. 187, it's a lot of time. And then you have like hours from 9 until 5. I'm really bad at math. You might have to help me with that. But I believe that's like something ridiculous, like 12 hours or something, 13 hours. Like there's a lot of time in the day.
So part-time, 20 hours, full-time, would you recommend up to 40 hours?
I would say, yeah, full time is you do want to go definitely probably like 5 to 6 hours is solid. And then in the meantime, you don't want to constrain. What I've seen too is people work too hard. And it's very peculiar because with TikTok affiliate, like it's a creative art. You have to be able to see a lot of people will be running like really, really quick and they forget which direction they're running in. So you do have to be able to keep your head and see things from an eagle eye perspective. And I think like anything over 6 hours, you can kind of be a little bit at risk of just like putting up content and losing your actual creativity and flow. But in that free time that you have, you should be watching or studying videos or connecting with other creators or doing other things that, are beneficial, even something like your health, right? Like there's a lot of other productive things that you can fill your time with that will ultimately either directly or indirectly advance your revenue as an affiliate.
Because say someone works 5-6 hours a day, or even someone who spends 3 hours a day, what do they do for 3 hours? Because if a video is 30 seconds a minute, 2 minutes long, and editing takes, well, I don't know how much. That's the 80%. More raw, more organic. So what do they spend the time doing?
Oh yeah. So editing's the pain. So editing, it is super raw, super organic, but dead space. When you have a script and like you'll repeat lines, like you'll try to get your hook perfect, like the emotional feeling of it, you might repeat your hook like 20 times. And then, you got to go through and you got to find the one that you got right and then like clip it out. And then any pauses in between your sentences, if you're breaking to take a breath like this, you have to cut that small little space out because just like 0.3 seconds can cut it. And I know a lot of affiliates, what they'll do is they'll extract the audio in CapCut. So you have like this audio track and they'll have a split between 2 clips where they cut out this dead space. So you have like clip 1, clip 2, and they'll actually overlay the audio slightly over each other. So it happens at the same time. And like, that's how quick paced it is. And
Interesting.
like no dead space whatsoever. Like I always say, cut, zoom, something happening with the audio, product, something visual, tone switch every 3 seconds. Like every 3 seconds, there has to be.
Even children's shows use that tactic as well.
Coco Melon got a bunch of kids and tracked their eyes and where they would go and would play their videos and then, like analyze what got their attention from like colors, songs, frequencies. Like back to what I said about if you want to be number one, you have to do things no one else is willing to do. Like, like that's a little extreme. Granted, that's like hypnotism, but like I don't think anyone else is tracking kids' eyes to optimize for brain rot goldfish. They're prepping them for TikTok. It's the TikTok oven, basically. It's like, you get them ready and then you send them on TikTok. Don't cancel me.
All right, so you work, let's say 3 hours to 6 hours a day. Obviously, this is less than 9 to 5, which is 8 hours a day. Do you have flexibility for when you work? Is there any constraints? Do you have to post at a certain time, or can people just do it as they please? Like, can they just post back to back to back, or do they have to space it out?
Oh, this is the best part. So the best part about this is like, there's actually a ridiculous amount of time flexibility on it. Like, it doesn't matter when you post. Like, you could post a video at like 2 a.m. Oh yeah. So like, there's people
filming day.
Yeah, filming day. Get it all. As of now, you can't like you can draft it, so you just have to go in and add a TikTok shop link to it and then post it. But fortunately, we're the first to get the API for auto schedule, auto post with TikTok shoppable content pay. So that'll be fixed soon. But the good news is like there's people that'll like, okay, I'm gonna go on a 1 week long trip and I want to have fun on my trip. So what I'm going to do is I still want to post. So I'm just going to spend the day to day doing 12 hours of just batching a bunch of content and prepare my content for the whole week. And we'll start it on Friday. And, they just don't work at all other than like opening up TikTok, adding a link and clicking post, 3 times a day for like that whole week. They don't have to do anything and they just pick it back up the next time. And I know people who just like actually just do that as like their routine. It's not even like if there's a break. Like they just prefer to work like a 15-hour day on a Friday and then just like have the free days the rest of the
I
days.
see that actually being very appealing to some people.
Yeah, no, it's
A
great.
lot of the people in the medical field, they actually enjoy doing these incredibly long shifts and then having several days off instead of just a short weekend.
That was that one creator I showed you that said I did 240 something posts today. They actually didn't post that many times. They were drafts. Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so I want to talk about fit, not yoga being fit, but identifying who has the traits for success, who doesn't. So let me ask you, who is this for?
Well, it sounds like your following is a lot of middle-aged females, which, woo, definitely for you. Like, but no, we have a bunch of creators that are younger males, like Phil, 18-year-old male, 30,000 in a month.
What about demographics for a second?
I want to go racism, bro. Come on.
What about traits?
Traits, I would say like the biggest trait would be, if you have a lot of charisma, like you're more of like a loud, exciting, bubbly personality, that'll get you far.
Can introverts succeed with this?
Absolutely. We have a lot of them that do. It's more so just products that are like an introvert can do bottom of funnel where you're posting these like videos and you don't even have to talk in them. And there's just like spamming 20 posts a day. So it's just different from what, you might do in your day to day. But I would say like having like being incredibly, and you can train yourself to be extroverted, by the way, like, which is incredibly surprising. I know a lot of people who are very introverted who just like, there's a line and it goes, the quickest way to become who you want to be is to put yourself in a situation where you have no choice but to become them. Like introverted, cool, go to like a social lounge and like talk to 20 people and like just do that for a long time and you could switch it. But that number 2 is the ability to, being obsessive, I would say. If you have an obsessive personality where if you get something that you really like, maybe it's a video game. For me, it was like early on, I got incredibly obsessive over Fortnite. I was really good at it. Before that, I was like younger, I was incredibly obsessive over Legos. Like I would just do that all day. And whatever I found that I really liked, I would just like latch onto and I just go like extreme jump in, head deep, like no balance into it. I'd say obsessiveness is a great trait to have. And I guess the last one would be a high EQ. I think on TikTok Shop, the concept of having like a high IQ doesn't help much. There's a lot of data that means a lot of nothing and that you think is a correlation but might not be. At the end of the day, if you try to like look at all the pieces of data to perfect what you're doing, you're probably going to end up down like a rabbit hole. If you want to consistently always be really great, just understand human psychology, how, like, what are subconscious desires, how do you bring them out? And like a great example would be, like if I'm doing a pain point in an affiliate video and a product is, for example, I don't know, like a fat loss, like pill that helps with something in like your arms, right? Like someone might say, are you struggling with flabby arms? And then someone who understands how to create emotion, kind of it's all about creating emotion, might say, I can't even wear a t-shirt outside anymore and I only wear sweaters because I'm so embarrassed and insecure about my flabby arms. It's like, ooh, that was different. Like that was like specific. And the more specific you go, the more real something feels. If I were to say that if you're watching this video and TikTok Shop affiliate is for people that are females ages 19 to 22 that have blonde hair, that have brown eyes, that live in Wisconsin, you're gonna be like, I hope I called someone out there. That would be nuts. But like, you're going to really pay attention after I said that because you're like, what? But like, that would be one thing, is understand how to create emotion, understand human psychology, how to bring out these like insecurities in a way and like sell to a need. And, that comes with like being specific and knowing your buyer persona, know who is buying your product, and watch your video and script your video from taking like 5 seconds to get yourself and like step into the shoes and the perspective of that persona, like pretend you're them. And then you just create content that's perfect for who you're trying to sell to.
So what are the hard skills, or rather soft skills, that someone needs to be successful in this? Do they have to understand psychology, or do they just have to have an ability to speak clearly, ability to sell? What is it?
Yeah, so my girl said that I had soft skills, but she never worked corporate, so I'm a little confused on what that meant. But no, I'm kidding. That's, but like in terms of soft skills, right? Like yes, you have to be hardworking. You have to be able to stick with something incredibly consistent, and you have to be able to learn and kill ego, and you have to learn delayed gratification. If you have like those, you will do incredibly well. There's a lot of affiliates who like, this is like the 0 to 1 stage, right? There's a lot of creators who go from like, in the 10 to, 100 stage or the 10 to 50 stage that all of a sudden like think they're Elon Musk because they, have been posting for 2 months and made 10 grand and won't pivot, like won't talk to anybody below them anymore and like start, navigating themselves like a little bit recklessly. Be very careful. Don't ever get an ego.
Yeah.
Incredibly important there. And delayed gratification is even more important because the results that you see on your account are a result of the hard work that you put in about like 2 weeks prior. TikTok videos sometimes like they'll take like, you might post one today and I go on my day for 2 weeks. I'm still posting every single day. And all of a sudden like this video all of a sudden hits the perfect audience. But here's the crazy part, and this is why it's exponential, is if that video all of a sudden goes viral, now I have people who are going onto my page. And a lot of TikTok's harding. And I have, like, there's creators who have really great videos that should go viral, but they just hit the wrong audience. But now you have these people who are spilling over onto your page and watching these other videos, or because they engage with it, they see your other videos. And all of a sudden TikTok starts to realize, wait, no, this audience is more for this video. And boom, you have these videos like that also go viral. Like normally when one creator gets a video that gets like, million plus views, all these other random videos that haven't gone viral in a long time like just start boom like lifting up with it.
Yeah.
So delayed gratification is important because when it hits it, it's big.
Great. Well, let's move into getting started. And I think we already covered the vast majority of this. So I'm just going to try to get some very punctual, straight answers. So cost to get started. If someone has 0 followers, they want to acquire an account or they want to pay, whatever, what is the amount of money they should be prepared to spend if they want to go that route?
300 to 350 tops.
Okay, 350 tops. We already talked about time to first profit, resources to help start. I think that you guys provide those. So can you be very brief? What are the resources that someone should have, and do you provide all of them, or is there anything that they should be looking for outside of what you offer?
Yeah, we provide pretty much all of them. I would say the one thing would be daily virals. Look up daily virals, great. Calodata, another research tool. And those would be the 2 main ones that I would use.
Okay, great. And then you have a community,
Yes, correct.
and you have learning resources.
Incredibly important to have a community. You need people around
You
you.
have coaches.
We do.
You do have coaches.
Yeah.
And then this is all completely free.
All completely free. Every single part.
That it's free is because you are incentivized for the people who work with you to make as much money as possible, because the more money that they make, the more money that you make.
Exactly. We pay them actually. Retainers, commission, yeah.
Yeah. So this is pretty, I can see why I keep it very connected.
Funny enough though, that actually works against us. The fact that we pay them, it would be better off if we charge something, even if it went to a charity.
Because then they would pay more attention.
There's a lot of people that just join it free, like just swipe it to the bottom, like don't pay attention to it. And,
It thought about making an experimental premium group or something.
I have thought about it and it would be better off for us to do it. I just can't do it.
Why can't you do it?
J Park, bro. Like, I can't be that guy. I really can't.
Well, it's good. I think that makes you genuine, is that you don't want to be that guy. How do you define that guy? And don't name names, but what are the traits of that guy? And then why don't you want to be that guy?
Like, here's the part that sucks about charging for a course. Although it would be better, the reality is some people like don't have what it takes, and because of like, mostly their own fault, they lose. And it's like, for me, it's just like, I really hate it's just like, it's a weird thing where it's, it makes sense, but it also doesn't at the same time, where it just feels off. I don't think by logic on a lot of situations. I won't use logic. I'll just go by like, how do I feel? And like, I don't even try to validate it.
I think that is genuine though, and I appreciate that. And I think that the people that I am trying to attract would appreciate that as well, because what we're trying to do is figure out who are the people that you can trust and who are the people that are just repackaging a bunch of already free information and then trying to sell it for as much money as possible without delivering real value. And what you do is you don't charge anything and you give an abundance of value and set people up for success without making any money unless they succeed.
Here's your trick to knowing 90% accuracy of like who is legit and who isn't. If you go on their IG page and they have a picture with a Lamborghini or multiple different supercars, don't buy it.
You have a picture of the Lamborghini.
But my IG's private.
All right.
Yeah, public IG with a Lamborghini. I'm trying to think. There's some creators I know that I do trust a lot. He used to have a picture of the Lamborghini. Maybe he deleted it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to name names. Don't.
Sebastian Giorgia, dog.
I know what I'm thinking of.
Really? He had a Lamborghini?
I think he had a McLaren.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah, I think it was his cover photo. It was him sitting on the hood of his car.
Oh, yeah, no, I think it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That's that guy.
He's legit. He is. Wow, yeah. I think like Alex Ramosi.
I don't think he has a. Never post cars, that guy.
All right, so I'm just going to run through these real quick just so we wrap it up because it's already almost 10 p.m. here. And thank you for doing this ad hoc. So let's like back. So what is the risk that someone who tries this loses money?
0 if you don't spend money, but you don't have to. You won't lose money. And if you just keep posting, like you just maybe 0.0001%, if you just keep taking shots, like you just won't lose money ultimately over enough time if you did put money into it.
In rapid fire bullet, what are the most common reasons people fail?
Inconsistency, number 1. Self-belief, 2. Not optimizing the content and continuously running into a brick wall. And last one would be lack of a proactive offense effort eye. There's people who might, in their free time, talk to people, and there's people who just do content. That's what offense versus defense looks like.
Got it. So moving on just to closing, call to action. Would you be willing to make a Moonlight account and answer questions for people that they might have?
Yeah, let's do it. Heck
Awesome.
yeah.
And where should people follow you or anything to learn more about what you have to offer? Anything you want to shamelessly promote?
2 slots left right now, guys. DM me the word ecom, right?
He's making fun of a disingenuous econ coach.
I thought we were cutting that part out. God, but no, the best way would be to join the Discord, free community there, discord.gg/creator circle. And from there, you're plugged into the community. All the resources are there, and you can actually literally get started now.
Devin, thank you for your time. This is one of those things that I do believe is a really great opportunity for anyone who wants a low barrier to entry, no risk, unlimited upside thing to try. It's one of those gateway drugs into entrepreneurship. This is something that could make you a lot of money. I do think that people should do this, build an audience going to the AI era, and Devin's here to help you. So, Devin, thank you so much for telling us about this.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
Until next time, sir. Pleasure. That was good.
Yeah,
Let's hope the camera didn't die.
Oh, good.